guys, and welcome back to Marginal. So let's just jump right back in. And for a few days, I spent my time there. Because I couldn't understand, no matter how much I thought, I searched for a reason that would satisfy me.
入り口から来たものしか出口は通らない。
Only things that came in the entrance can pass through the exit. That was probably the clearest reason. But I wasn't satisfied with that. If anything, I had a feeling there was a much more fundamental
も
question.
しや反省をしない者は返さないつもりだろうか。
Could it be that only those who were sorry would be able to go back? Lady had said that she had sent back over 20 people. By doing that, she probably spent a long time here. But in my case, no one has come yet. Thinking about it in reverse, it's plausible that the next person will not come to people who refuse to repent. And even now, I still hold the regrets of my sister within me. No matter how much time flows by, no matter if my own body becomes inhuman, this was the only thing that I couldn't bring myself to forgive. 100 years later. From there, 100 years passed without me doing anything. Just sitting at the edge of the exit hole in a daze. Days of simply gazing at the real world from here. Previously, the scenes just vaguely materialized, but now I was able to see the places that I wanted to see.
あの人、恐ろしいことを考えている。
That person is thinking about something horrifying. Lately, I've been able to know a person's emotions just from looking at them, and could even clearly read what they were thinking. Have I finally reached the same point as Lady? But I think she had lived here for a much longer time, and I had a feeling she was still far out of reach.
今頃、彼女はどうしているだろうか。
I wonder what she's doing right now. When leaving, she had said something about coming here again, but already some 600 years have passed since then. Did memories really disappear upon leaving this place? Plus, considering the normal lifespan of people, she should have died long ago.
現世に帰りたい。だけど、反省する気はない。
I want to go back to the real world, but I don't want to repent. The contradictory words fell from my lips. The bustling scenes from the real world that the exit hole showed created the feelings within me stronger than ever. There is nothing, hunger, sickness, even death, all alone. In this world where I've been given an eternity of time, the day that I would succumb seemed to be coming eventually, and that scared me. The next morning,
職を全うしよう。
I'll complete the atonement. Thinking all night, I made up my mind. I don't think there was any really deep meaning behind it. I looked up at that completely white sky and made a declaration.
よく聞きなさい。これから職を再開する。
Listen well, I will begin that atonement again. I raised up my voice to compete with the sound of the rain, my words directed at him, who was probably there.
ただしこれはあなたのためじゃない。途中でついえたお姉ちゃんのためよ。
However, this is not for your sake. It is for the sake of my sister who had fallen in the middle of it.
これで満足しなかったとしても、決して私は反省もしないし。
And even if you are not satisfied with this, I will never repent. I will never forgive you. And with that one continuous declaration, I crushed my own throat. Now I can't speak. It would be back the way it was tomorrow, but it was the way to show my will. If anything, something like this could heal by itself in an instant. From that day, I focused on not speaking. To begin, being alone made it so that I had no chance to use my voice. On top of that, I deliberately every morning crushed my throat. To be exact with the time, I made sure that the days were countable. I knew how to read the stars, but because there were no stars here, I wrote each day down. There was nothing else to do. The only thing left was to glean knowledge and observe the world's movements while looking at the real world. The most painful were the sights of the bustling villagers and the times I could see the figures of happy children. Children that were innocently running around. If only by looks, they were about the same age as myself. When I saw the figures of those children, for some reason tears would overflow. Even though I had no intention of crying, the tears fell in large drops. For some reason, those drops would seem to be sucked into the hole just like that and disappear.
そうか。涙は現世に戻れるのだ。
I see. Tears can go back to the real
こ
world.
の身も血も通さないくせに何の皮肉だろうか。
Even though neither my body nor blood can pass through, what kind of irony is this? Mistress of the Rainy World. Ah, it's so sad. 333 years and 33 days later. Today the rain also continued to fall without end. It was around when the dark night was beginning to change into bright white. I stood up from the bus station bench. It was something that I had put here the other day, something I picked up from the river. The day changed. With this, the atonement should have ended. Normally, I would have started the day by crushing my throat, but today there was no need. Without any hesitation, I took one step outside the building. As always, the rain continued to fall. However, I did not get wet, because somewhere far up in the sky, the drops changed their course and were thrown somewhere else. If I wanted to, I could probably turn the puddles at my feet to steam in an instant and make the flagstones dry. Without even concentrating, that much was a simple thing to do. I looked up at the white sky, and then took a big breath.
これで職は全うした。
With this, the atonement is completed. Words for whatever was possibly above that sky. The first voice I've made in 300 years felt somehow different from my own. Seemed like it was from a different person.
どう？こんな無茶な儀式をたった一人にやり遂げられた気分は。
So, how does it feel having such a crazy ritual completed by just a single person?
私一人じゃないわ。
No, I'm not alone. Even if they had returned to nothingness, my sister and numerous priestesses who became sacrifices were with me.
これで満足したなら、さっさと誰かをよこしなさいよ。
If you're satisfied with this, then hurry up and bring someone over, I declared to the sky, at the one who was supposed to be watching from above the clouds, at the one who sealed me in this world of eternal rain and nothing but horizons, and made me complete the atonement.
言っておくけど、反省もしないし、あなたを許す気はないから。
And I'm also saying that I'm neither sorry nor have any intention of forgiving you. To the omnipotent power, or to the omnipotent one, with the power of miracles, I cast my declaration. But there was no reaction. Steadily, rain just fell. Hollowly, my voice just if I can talk, reverberated. As always, in the world with only one person, the pitter-patter of rain continuing to fall. Since the day I had come here, eternally without end, only the sound of rain reverberated.
うるさいね。
Shut up!
いい加減にして。その雨音、うるさいって言ってるのよ。
Enough already, the sound of rain! I said shut up! Along with my shout, I gathered all of the water in the area to one point, and then stretched it up into the sky. It was a spear of water stretched as if it would stab the white raining sky. Piercing the clouds far overhead, a high piercing sound came as the air broke the speed of sound.
なんとか言いなさいよ。その気になれば嵐だって起こせるのよ。
Say something! If I want to, I can create a storm too. This time, before I finished speaking, a tornado twisted to life. Right now, I was not the powerless child like when I had arrived here, especially since I had freely obtained knowledge from the real world the past 300 years. There was no comparison to now. Even if I were unable to overcome a god, It was my every intention that I wouldn't be so weak as to be ignored.
そう。だったらこの建物も壊すわ。
I see. Then I'll destroy this building. I squarely faced the structure that I had just been resting in. I smashed a giant pillar of water into it. With a rumbling sound, a piece of the large roof began to collapse. I destroyed the thing that had been in this world from the beginning, the soul building. Even though it was the only place that that could shelter from the rain.
どう？これでもう雨もしのげないわね。
How about that? No one can avoid the rain. I laughed. Our laugh tinged with self-mockery. I wasn't sure myself what I was trying to do. Everything was meaningless. Even though by tomorrow everything would be back the way it was. Even though I knew that myself.
ねえ、どうする？罰するの？一人で職王も成し遂げた。
So?
これでも
What now? Are you going to punish
今の
me?
に対して
For a priestess that completed the atonement all alone?
別にいいわよ。今以上の罰があるならね。
It's fine if you do. If there's a punishment greater than this.
ほら、早くやりなさい
So
よ。
hurry up and do it! Alone. No matter where you go, it was a world with just one person. And hollowly, only my own voice reverberated. Eternally, without dying, nor even aging, already obtaining powers that were inhuman. And yet, the mistress of the rainy world had no one to sing her praises, nor give her counsel. However, just the rain. Only the cheers of the rain were raised.
ねえ、何か答えてよ。
Hey, answer with
も
something!
うこの世界は嫌なのよ。雨の世界の主の座は返上したいのよ。
I don't want to be in this world anymore. This throne of the mistress of the rainy world, I want to give it back! The harsh voice I had raised had settled. At some point, it had become a thin pleading. And that weak whisper was also erased by the sound of rain. 1 year later.
もう誰も何も信じない。
Enough! I won't believe anyone, anything anymore. If he wasn't going to do anything, I had no choice but to act myself. With that whisper, I headed to the river. The place I was headed was what I had once called upriver. At one time, it had taken an extraordinary number of years to arrive, but for me now, I arrived in an instant. A place that I hadn't been at in centuries, the entrance hole. And like I had seen that day, it was spitting out numerous things from the real world. I recalled that, once, I had carelessly put my arm in and everything past my wrist had disappeared.
私にはここしか思いつかない。
I can't think of a place other than here. Here, meaning a place to die. In this world, it was the place where the possibility of dying might exist. For the exit hole, I was thrown back and was unable to enter, but for this entrance I was able to put my hand in. However, it had simply been annihilated.
もし死ねばまたお姉ちゃんと会えるだろうか。
If I can die, would I be able to meet my sister again? With that final murmur, I took a few steps back, forgetting a running start. Building up some momentum, I hurled my body into the hole before me. Throughout my body, a burning sensation spread. It wasn't pain, but heat. My eyes could see red. Then it became black, and finally everything was white. In my fading consciousness, I thought I could see something resembling the rainy sky up above. Just how much time has passed, I wonder? Days? Months? Or could it have been decades? I awoke to the sound of rain striking water. At some point, I had been drifting on the river and washed ashore.
どうやら死ねなかったらしい。
It looks like I couldn't die. To be precise, I had died and came back to life. Was brought back to life, probably. I had held the faintest of expectations for that place, but as expected, that was not allowed in this world.
反省するまではどこにも行かせない。何もさせない。
Until I'm sorry, he won't let me go anywhere, won't let me do anything. And dying was forbidden. That was probably what he intended. And that was why no one came here. He probably planned on keeping me in this world of rain forever.
分かった。もういい。もう誰も来なくていい。
I get it. Enough. No one has to come. I looked up at him and muttered,
私を永遠にここに留めるがいい。
You can keep me here for eternity. However, for my part, I will not forgive you.
その受けた罰の分だけ理不尽な運命を、姉の無念を、私の無念をも合わせ。
The amount of punishment I receive, with this unjust fate, my sister's regrets and my own regrets.
いつしか呪いへと変えてみせよ
Someday, I will turn them into a curse. And for a few years after, I spent it watching the real world. Days spent down the river peering at that exit. It had once taken me a few centuries to come here, but now I was able to arrive in moments. Most likely, with the powers I had now, it was possible for me to go to the far shore or even to the ends of this world. But now I couldn't bring myself to want to do that. What would come out of it if I checked? The one above the sky would just feign ignorance. That was why I only gazed at the real world from here. Watching a number of generations, reading people's hearts, sometimes I would watch a single person grow up.
でもそれだけのこと。私は見つめるだけ。
But that was all. I could only watch. Forever without aging in a 10-year-old's body. Someone forced to spend endless time with endless life. Even though I had knowledge surpassing humans, and can even use magical powers.
雨の世界の主。このたった一人の世界に。
The mistress of the rainy world was a prisoner in this world of only one person. There was nothing more, and nothing less to that existence. My existence in this separated world was the same as nothingness.
そう無と同じ。
The same as nothingness. When I wound up putting it into words, tears overflowed, even though I had thought that I had forgotten how to cry. The large drops of tears once again disappeared into that exit hole. They were the singular proof of myself that I could leave in the real world. After that, I kept on crying. There was nothing else to do. Nothing I could do. Just continuing to cry while being soaked by the rain.
もしいつの日かここに誰かが来たら
If one day
どうなるのだろう。
someone were to come here, what would happen? When that day came, would I really chase them away? Or would I choose to return to go back to the real world? I was sure that, with how I was now, if I were to return to the real world now, I wouldn't die. I was even confident that I would return without losing my memory. And yet, the desire that someone would come soon, and the desire that someone would not come, were half and half.
こんな時お姉ちゃんだったら
At a time like this, if it were my sister. My sister, living an unfair, unfortunate life that quickly ended. Even though she had been cheerful and kind, with a cute voice, and had believed in the gods to the very end. If I were my sister, would I be able to be more true to my feelings? The second night. When that area had completely turned into night. Looks like you're awake. For that voice, I didn't really have anything to reply with. I slowly raised my body and sat on the bench. When I did, As if it were perfectly natural, that person sat next to me and directed a slightly worried face at me. Considering the time remaining, this would probably be the final conversation with this person. And even when I understood that, the words that came from my mouth were,
まだ帰ってなかったみたいで
"Looks like you still haven't gone back." In my usual way of saying things, I just brushed it off like that. But I am all out of time for this episode, guys, so if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!